it is the greatest leveler in terms of drop in engagement.
Yes.
And the biggest feedback you get always is what I was sold
Yes.
is not what I got.
It's that chasm.
So understanding, and every business has their positives and negatives, but throughout the recruitment process, understanding and having a true indication of what your actual EVP is so important, because otherwise people are going to start with your business and just lose engagement. And there's nothing worse than having a new starter that's got no engagement.
But no question about it, EVP is the hardest thing for HR to be able to do, because even the CEO and the board has to come along.
100%. They have to be bought into it. But it's a major change if you're trying to change your EVP.
That's right.
If you identify what your true EVP is, and as I said, every business has positives and negatives, and you can actually focus on what those elements are and sell it correctly and sell what the positives are and call out what some of the negatives are or the growth areas within a business, then you take away that piece of, I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
I know what's actually happening here. I know what's realistic. An EVP, too many organizations, in my opinion, too many organizations go out there and go, what do we want our company to look like? That's what we're going to sell for our EVP.
Short-term gains.
No, what company to look like? That's what I'm going to do my EVP, because that's what I think is going to sell to people.
I thought you were saying I'll market myself to what I'm hoping it would be as opposed to what really is on the ground.
100%. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But because of that, people sit there and get sold on a journey that's not actually true.
Yeah.
People need to realize that their EVP, whilst it can be highlighting your positives, has to be realistic for what your business is. And you need to attract talent based on that.
Yeah, but that's fair enough, but sometimes it's too bad, and you've been hired because, let's say, you bring a team or a leader, talent leader or an HR leader to say, look, we're having problems finding the right engineers or the right, salespeople, etc. for our business, and what can we do about that? And you come back and you do your research and you go, look, guys, there are some changes we need to make in the company before that happens, because
100%.
Otherwise I'd be selling you bullshit. It would be really a short-term thing, 3 months, 6 months.
But you're going to turn over people, EVP or not, if your business is not up to scratch, where you can't design an EVP that has something to offer your people.
So what I'm trying to say,
just throwing money at people is not enough.
Sure, exactly. And so what I'm trying to say, Bernt, sometimes then the finding is, I can't do it without these significant changes, and it might take 6 to 12 months to do, or even beyond. And so It's a major significant change. So if the board or the CEO says we're not going to do it, then there's nothing. This team cannot do anything. They will probably
what if your EVP in that scenario, in that particular example, is based around, we are going through a significant change? Do you want to be on the journey for that?
But
because there's going to be people.
If the board says I don't want to change it, how can you're lying still about this?
So
you can't say we're going through change if there's no commitment.
But if the board says we don't want to change anything in the business, and the business is not attractive to anybody at all, then do you really have a business?
No, but that's what I mean. Oh, well, there's a lot of businesses going under every day. And that's what I mean.
Because people don't want to work for them.
That's right.
So we're not going to try it. You can't help people that can't be helped.
Right. So as a talent leader yourself, let's say you just joined a company and you found after 3 months doing research, you put a proposal to the board and they say no. You're going to say, see you later. You're 100%. Out. And that's what I mean. One thing is, you can say, for example, sometimes it's doable for you to say, look, I want to be honest with you. Here's the great things about this company, but these are the things that aren't so great, but we have plans to make them better. That's honest, that's good, and you can still do well. But sometimes I'm
recruiting a lot myself for my teams at the moment. We're going through a massive growth phase. There's not one interview I go into where I don't sit there and go, these are the things that we need to work on in this business, and I want you to know about it.
That's it.
I want you to understand we are going through a change within the business. We're going through growth within the business. With that comes negatives. I'm not going to sell you on something that's not actually true. These are the positives. These are some of these negatives actually for some people are positives. Going through a massive amount of change or being at the forefront or being at a stage in which you need to redevelop the foundations of an organization. Some people thrive in that environment because they sit there and they go, exactly, what can I do? I can have the amount of opportunities I can grow with this business. I can help grow this business. I can influence the change within this business. It's huge.